What up? What up? What up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How is everyone doing this morning? Sunday morning. Not a usual show, but I missed a couple shows this week, so I thought, hey, let's pop in and talk about day 4 training camp. Training camp, because a lot of big things happening. Day 4 of Miami Dolphins training camp. Fans were in the building, very exciting. I'm sure by this point you've seen the clips. And at this point, with this YouTube channel and YouTube giving me the business, I don't know what I can show and not show on this channel. They're not monetizing me for whatever reason. It's driving me crazy. So bear with me. Bear with me. Raphael, what's good? What's good, brother? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, I'm going to tell you the truth. After yesterday's accusations and the reports coming out of training camp so far, and if we can make one more move, I'm starting to get really, really excited about the 2025 season. And not that I necessarily think that this team is a Super Bowl contender, because I think this team has some stuff to prove to us first before we jump out the window with that. But I'm getting super excited with the possibility that this team could be more than what we initially thought. You know, with the lack of free agent moves, with the lack of urgency from Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, you know, fans around here were getting really worried. And a lot of fans probably still are worried. You know what I mean? But with me, I truly believe this team is going to be squarely in the playoff race. And again, if Buffalo slips up, Miami could be there and have an opportunity to catch them this year. And I think you'd have to see that as a success. If we can win this division somehow, some way, and I know it's a long shot. But the Miami Dolphins roster is just as good as the Buffalo Bills, minus the quarterback position. Josh Allen is a super talent, one of the best in this league. By the time it's all said and done, he's probably going to go down as one of the better quarterbacks in NFL history. At least dual threat quarterbacks, you know what I mean? But if Josh Allen has a down year, if Josh Allen were to get hurt, and I don't wish injuries upon anybody, this division would be wide open for Miami's taking. And I'm not super impressed with any other team in the AFC besides the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are the cream of the crop. They are the best team in the AFC, in my opinion. Good morning, Raphael, Michael K, Elwood. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Who else is in the building? Come in, say hello. Say hello. Michael K says Bills O-line, tight ends, and running backs are better than the Dolphins. Listen, running backs, I'll give you better on depth. I think Achane is every bit as good as James Cook. Every bit is good. Offensive line, I'll give you the nod on offensive line. But there's areas that I think the Miami Dolphins are better in too. I think at safety we're better. I think at wide receiver we're clearly better. Linebacker, I believe the Miami Dolphins are better. Happy Sunday. What's going on, Octane? Good morning, good morning, good morning. But yeah, day 4 of training camp was open to the fans. I had tickets to camp. I wanted to go down next month, but the Miami Dolphins, I don't know what their business is or their deal is with these tickets. Listen, I'm from New York. You can't send me tickets 2 days before and me be able to get a plane, get a get a hotel and plan my life. You know what I mean? And I can't sit there and hope that I get tickets and plan a plane ride and a hotel stay. You know what I mean? That's not even close on land. I disagree. I think Jordan Brooks is an animal. I think Adam Willie Gay is tremendous. And then you got to consider we play a 3-4, so you got to add in, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson. But yeah, I didn't get these tickets until 2 days before. Like, what am I supposed to drop everything? I was under the assumption that I wasn't getting any tickets. You know what I mean? So let's take a look at some of the highlights of day 4 of training camp. Zach Wilson continues to throw the ball well. That's imperative. That is huge for this Miami Dolphins team. I believe Zach Wilson is the most talented backup that Tua's had here. Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick is a better quarterback, but as far as talent goes, Zach Wilson is the most talented backup quarterback Tua's had in the last 3 years. And the chances that Tua misses a game or multiple games, it's high. It's high. I hope he doesn't. And I'm not going into the season counting on him missing games, but it's always in the back of your mind because his career has shown that he cannot stay healthy. 1 out of 4 years is that's not good numbers. That's not good numbers. So Zach Wilson throwing the ball well is imperative. Quinn Ewers is improving. Quinn Ewers, who knows? Maybe Quinn Ewers is an option to be a starter on this team in the future. You know what I mean? It's not unrealistic for a player to be on a roster for 3-4 years and then step into a starting role. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Look at Jordan Love. All these players sat for a considerable amount of time and were groomed. And were groomed into becoming good starters. Now, I'm not saying Quinn Ewers is Aaron Rodgers or even Jordan Love, but there's no reason that Quinn Ewers couldn't. This guy was the number 1 quarterback coming out of high school at one point. So the kid's very talented. If he can put it all together, that'd be fantastic for us. Or at least a backup, a reliable backup for the future of the Miami Dolphins. Scotty, did you go to the camp? See, that's the thing, Scotty, is that when, obviously I got to go by what these beat writers are saying, and everybody's saying that they're impressed with Zach Wilson, that he's making these throws, you know what I mean? Hilarious, Bub. I like my muscle cars, and I bet you meant it hurted your feelings when you were ordered to wear them on your short bus. Admit it. What are you talking about, Octane? How do I post his comments? How was it? Was that Scotty? Was it extra hot? How was the conditions? I heard a lot. I heard it was a lesser of a crowd than they normally get on the first day of training camp. Scotty says our defense front 7 impressed me the most yesterday. If we stay healthy, they can be special. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what hurted. I don't know what hurted. I don't know what Octane was talking about. Yeah, I definitely like the the prospects of our front seven. Octane says it's to 25 years and counting. I'm guessing he's taking a shot at you, Michael K. there for being a Bills lover and not having an open mind whatsoever. Scotty says it was an awesome, beautiful day. The stands are in the shade. They have big ass fans, so a constant breeze. It was a very nice morning. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Again, I'm hoping to maybe make it down next month. I've never been to the stadium. I've never been to anything like that. I've been to Dolphins games up in Buffalo. I was in Miami one time to take a cruise. I just didn't have the opportunity to get over to the stadium, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart being that close and not having an opportunity to get over there. But by the time our flight and landed, we had to get to the hotel, and just a lot. You know what I mean? Just a lot. But I'm super excited. I hope to make the trip down there very soon. Hopefully this year at some point. But again, they're not sending the tickets out until last second. I don't know how I'm supposed to deal with that. Jordan Brooks, I guess Jordan Brooks is looking real fast. He's playing great on the outside runs, definitely. Willie Gay continues to impress. Cater Kohu went down with an injury. Hopefully that's not serious, because Cater Kohu is, from everything I'm hearing out of camp, has been able to stick with Tyreek, has been great in coverage. And if Cater Kohu can be a reliable starting corner for us, that's huge. That's huge. Lewis says, I believe this defense could be a top 10 unit. Absolutely, Lewis. I mean, this defense was a top 10 unit last year. I mean, they didn't look as impressive because we didn't have the sack numbers or the turnover numbers, but they were a top 10 unit overall last year. And I think bringing Jalen Phillips back, Bradley Chubb back, Chop Robinson's taking a step forward. Willie Gay, I think Willie Gay is going to be a huge addition to this defense. I really do. The practice was highly structured. It was no nonsense, flowed smoothly. If players weren't on the field, they drilled on the sideline after any player with penalties did push-ups. That's a beautiful thing, Scotty. That gets me super excited. What up, Shake? What up? Good morning to you, fellas. Again, I'm going to listen. If y'all want to come on, I'll send it out. This is an off script. You know what I mean? Backup O-line, really bad still. No surprise there. We have no depth on this offensive line. When someone goes down, there's going to be huge issues for this Miami Dolphins team. Alexander Madison making a case to take up a roster spot with Ali Gordon putting the ball on the ground yesterday. I guess Alexander made some decent runs yesterday, so that'd be, Jason Marshall with the first interception. That's promising. 5th round draft pick. Any help we can get from the corners, that's huge. Any help we can get from the cornerbacks, it's going to be a cornerback by committee. These players are going to have to come together. As someone different might have to make a play every week. I think Paul and Savinea locked down the left side for the next 5 years. That's great. That's promising too, Scotty. Get them trenches. You know what I mean? Kenneth Grant on the other side. Zach Sealer still 29 years old, so he's got a few years. But I'm really impressed. I think Jordan Phillips is going to be an animal. Give this kid 2-3 years. I think you're going to be able to line him up next to Kenneth Grant, and that defensive front is going to give running backs nightmares. BJ Adams went down with an injury. Hopefully he's not too hurt. Weaver coming up with a bunch of different blitz packages. Tua hit Tyreek for a 60-yard touchdown that I heard was beautiful. He'll juke the shit out of Kohu. That's how he got hurt. The entire crowd gas when Kohu went down. Yeah, I seen the play. I did see the play. Yeah, I heard he was daisy stumbling. So yeah, that sucks. That sucks for a young player to, the concussion thing's real. You know what I mean? You can rehab body parts. You can rehab, arms, shoulders, legs. You can't rehab the brain, bro. You can't rehab the brain. Finspin, what's up? What's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. And then the big signings yesterday, the Miami Dolphins signed Jack Jones, former Oakland Raider. Let me see. Listen, Jack Jones is a player that, is he a top talent? No. Jack Jones isn't a top talent. But Jack Jones is a player that, in a pinch, can come in and start games for you. I think he automatically comes in and is probably maybe the fourth best corner on this team. Maybe the fourth best corner on this team. Make sure you guys let me know if I go raspily. I'm trying to work out the kinks on, because it's not the cord. Make sure you guys let me know if I go raspily. So Jack Jones, 1, 2, 3, 4 years in the league. The guy's got 7 interceptions, 4 of them returned for touchdowns. He's got a knack for getting his hands on the ball. He almost had a pick yesterday, but couldn't come down with the catch. We need guys that can produce turnovers. That was one of our weaknesses last year. Not able to come up with the turnovers. And I mean, the 7 interceptions in 4 years, 1, 2, 3, 4 years. And I mean, he only played 4 games in 2023, 7 games in 2023. So these aren't even full 4 seasons, and he had 7 picks. 4 returned for touchdowns. When he picks it, he takes it to the house at a high clip, at least. So I like that pickup. At least it's depth. At the very least, it's depth. Jones is definitely better than Burns. 100% better than Burns. I'd take Jones over Burns any day. At this point, I would probably say it's Cater, Storm Duck, and before we get to the other one, it'd probably Cater, Storm Duck. I'd probably put Jack Jones be above Cam Smith at this point. You know what I mean? And then the real big signing yesterday for me was the addition of Mike Hilton. Listen, Mike Hilton is a really good player. I'm more happy with the signing of Mike Hilton than I would be for Rasul Douglas. 100%. Now, the only thing with me and Mike Hilton is, I was listening to TD last night and he was super excited and he was talking about, we got a guy that can lock down one side of the field and we don't not necessarily lock down, but can handle his side of the field. And I don't listen, that's not this guy's forte. That's not Mike Hilton's forte. Mike Hilton is a slot corner that can get after the running back that can stop. He's phenomenal at stopping the run. If you go back and watch some of this guy's some of his highlights, and again, I don't want to put too much stuff on the channel till I understand what I'm doing wrong with YouTube. I've already deleted my whole library. I got to figure it out. Hopefully, TD is going to help me with it next week. But this kid is an animal when it comes to stopping the run, making tackles. And he's good in coverage too. But do I think he's a boundary corner? Do I think he's going to play the boundary? I don't. But I feel very comfortable with him being our slot corner, our nickel corner. Lewis says Mike Hilton can play safety in a pinch too. Yeah, absolutely. And, I think we're pretty good at safety. I think we got some depth at safety. But, yeah, Mike Hilton I like his game. He is a baller. He is, this team has this, the Miami Dolphins are soft. Mike Hilton is not a soft player. Exactly, Scotty. Hilton's not a boundary corner. That's why I would love to see, we need some depth on the offensive line, obviously. And I know how a lot of you guys feel about Tua Tagovailoa. And I get it and I understand it. And you have every right to feel that way. But for me, I would feel so much better if the Miami Dolphins could go make a trade if we could go make a trade for a real boundary corner right now, and then you got Kader Kohu, Storm Duck, Mike Hilton in the slot, in this other starting caliber corner, I think this defense could be out of this world. With Minka back there playing safety, Jordan Brooks, I think Jordan Brooks is the best linebacker we've had since Zach Thomas. In this pass rush, this defense could be scary good. And then you got an offense that last year was scoring 25 points a game when Tua was starting. And I think this offense could be even better this year. Folks, I don't see how you see 5-6 wins. If you're one of the people that think that this team can only win 6 games, I just don't see it. And maybe you guys end up being right. Kansas City Chiefs Watson, absolutely, Octane. Perfect example. They're not going to pay Watson next year. We could probably get him at a decent price. We could probably get Watson at a decent price. A 3rd round pick. We should have an extra 3rd, right? I really, this defense could be scary good if we make one more move. If Fitzgerald Grass, yeah, we do need some depth on this offensive line. But let's not pretend that this offensive line's been good in the past and we haven't been able to put up points. I think the Dolphins are a possible 9, possibly 10 win football team. At the current moment, yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. If we add nobody else, 9, 10 wins, yep. 9, 10 wins, yep. But if we go add a corner and some depth on the offensive line, I could see 11. I could see 11. I want to save all our draft picks in case we need the package to move up for a quarterback. Yeah, I understand, Scotty. I do. I understand that keeping all our draft picks in case we need to move up. But damn, man, I'm one of these guys that you got go for the now. Ramblin' Chef, since I think 10 is the bottom if Tua stays healthy, 12 I feel is the ceiling. Yeah, I mean, I don't see, there's no way that we win more than 12 games. You know, we have a pretty easy schedule at the beginning. And then, that 3-game stretch against Baltimore, Buffalo, and Washington is going to be super rough. Big C, you want everything. I mean, I don't think it's crazy to add uh, a backup offensive lineman and a starting caliber corner. I mean, the Jalen Ramsey thing was unexpected. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we've known about it for the last couple months, but we thought we had an all-pro corner on this team. And I'm not even a big Jalen Ramsey fan. Like, I think Jalen Ramsey's greatly overrated. More than likely, McDaniel's fired by the bye week than us winning 11 games. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. The beginning stretch of the season is very favorable for the Miami Dolphins. Fitzpatrick got a new deal. See, that's opening up the cap space. That opened, Fitzpatrick getting guaranteed. Would they guarantee this year of his contract? Well, like they said, the cornerback from Kansas City, Watson, just a starting caliber. We don't need a superstar. I'm not saying bring it. We don't need a superstar. No discipline, limited quarterback, weak O-line, injury-prone players, weak secondary. Listen, I think this team has got more discipline this year than what we think. I think Tua's limited in as far as his health goes, but Tua can play winning football. JD the Great reports 11 million in space open up. Yeah, we're gonna probably open up even more because they're gonna give Zach Sealer some money. They're gonna give Zach Sealer some money. $16.245 million signing bonus to his deal. Yeah, I mean, I think we knew that. As long as they didn't extend him and give him more years, I'm cool with turning some of that money guaranteed. You know what I mean? I don't want to see no super long contracts for a player that hasn't even stepped on the field for us yet. I just think, I mean, the fact that players are doing push ups after, players are being held accountable. I think the team is starting to hold each other accountable. So I think this team is going to be more disciplined. McDaniel, be careful. Greer's going to stab you in the back. I mean, that's. I mean, we'll see. Sign Minka Fitzpatrick to a revised contract, moving up $2 million to this year in a move that clears up about $11 million in cap space. The people that think Miami 6 wins or less just wants to blow it up. Ramblin' Chef, team went back to the TNT runs. Greer, 10 years, no playoff wins, but he can find excuses. C. Hopeful says, I believe in the Tooth Fairy. So what do you see? What do you see the team at, C. Hopeful? What do you see the, or did you say that 9-10 wins max? Is that what you said? Lewis has 8-9 wins at best. So do you think the team's worse than last year? Do you think the team's worse than last year? Because I don't. I think this offensive line has no choice but to be better this year. I think this offensive line is going to be better. And yeah, I'm counting on a rookie and a player coming off an Achilles. I am. But I don't think they can be worse than Liam Eichenberg and Robert Jones. Yes, we are worse. Never good when you fire people a year too late. Where are we worse at besides corner? That's the only position on this team that I feel that we're worse at this year than last year is corner. I think we're going to be better at every other position. Maybe tight end. I mean, yeah, but it sounds crazy that they're not. I mean, the fact Meikenberg and Robert Jones were so bad. Listen, free safety. Javon Holland is only a name at this point. Javon Holland hasn't been good for this team in years. Our offense gets highly overrated. The passing game has been figured out. That's not true neither. Teams are playing too deep safeties against us because we're not able to run the ball. If we can run the ball, things will change. The passing game will open up. There's no upgrade on D-line after losing Campbell. Listen, I think Kenneth Grant's going to do once for this defensive line. I would have loved to have Calais Campbell back, and I don't think Kenneth Grant necessarily has the sack numbers that Calais does. But Calais wasn't playing as many snaps as a full-time starter was neither. Let's not forget that Calais was playing limited snaps. Yeah, Javon Holland was terrible last year. Jordan Poyer was terrible last year. Our safety room is 1,000 a million times better, in my opinion. Fitzpatrick is Holland and Fitzpatrick aren't even in the same breath. Teams operate with two high safeties. If you're able to run the ball, you can't sit there and have two safeties back. You got to bring them up to stop the run. And if this offensive line can protect just a little bit better and give Tua a little bit more time. We won 8 games with Tua missing 6. If Tua can stay healthy, and that's a big if, I don't see how we win the same amount of games. I just don't see it. But I mean, maybe you're right, and maybe I'll have to eat crow. You know what I mean? I'm not a fortune teller, and I am a fan, and sometimes my fandom does get the best of me. I'm not gonna lie. Folks. Sometimes I let my fandom get the best of me. Sometimes I just hope and I want it so bad that I talk myself into, I talk myself into it. So maybe you're right. But I refuse to allow myself to believe it at this point. This is where we are different. I don't think Tua is that good when he's healthy. I don't think Tua's elite, but you don't think Tua's a good quarterback whatsoever? You don't think Tua's a good quarterback whatsoever? What's reality, Michael K? That we've had opportunities to beat Buffalo. We've fallen short, but we've been in the game. Now, Buffalo spanked us a couple times. They have. But there's a couple games that we've had the opportunity to beat the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills are supposed to be Super Bowl contenders every year. We've had opportunities to beat good teams. We just haven't been able to put it all together. And I think it really is a mental blockage at this point for Tua Tagovailoa. And I think if he can just beat a couple of these teams, it might open the door for him. It really might. Because he's played well in certain games. He didn't play bad against Philly a couple years ago. He hasn't played bad against Buffalo a couple times. You know what I mean? He didn't play horrible against the Chiefs in the overseas game. Did he put the team on his back? No, that's not Tua's game though. So the good teams don't have a bad game? Yeah, they do, but do you think you're honestly saying that the only reason the Dolphins played the Bills tight is because the Bills had a bad game? Day one, what's up, brother? It's going to get ugly with Greer and Weaver plotting on Coach's downfall. Are they really plotting on his downfall, though? You can figure out after one quarter what type of game it is for Tua. I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not going to disagree with that. This is why the Bills and Chargers are must wins in the first 8. I mean, that'd probably leave us at 8-0. I don't think the Dolphins did play out of their mind. I just think they played good football. I think they played decent football that day. I don't think the Miami Dolphins made plays that they don't normally make. I think they just made the plays that they were supposed to make, and they were in the game at the end. Again, you can feel the way you want about this team, but from the things that I'm hearing, and I hope you guys have a great time at camp. Again, let me know what you're seeing. I want to know. Oh, I know Glenn. I know Michael K very well from in his trolling. But again, I mean, I'm super excited about this defense and the possibilities this defense. Again, I would love us to add a starting corner, another starting caliber corner. And now that we're opening up cap space by the Minka deal, I truly feel like we're probably going to open up another $6, $7, $8 million with the Zach Sealer deal. That leaves us 18, $19 million, $20 million. If I had compassion, I'd almost feel sorry for the 148 Dud fans that will be at the Skidmark Stadium week 3 to watch the Bills dismantle the hopes of the Dolphins fans everywhere. I'm going to be there, and we're winning that football game. We are winning that football game, brother. Brother. We're winning that football game, brother. Has anyone heard any updates in Samuel's neck injury? I'd have to imagine that's why he hasn't signed yet. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know how you feel, Scotty, but I want nothing to do with Asante Samuel Jr. I don't think he was overly good before the injury. The neck injury tied into what his father said. I keep him away. Keep him away from me. Lewis said Tua is good enough to play 50 years and never win the Super Bowl. Wow. That's a crazy statement right there. This team is better than everyone thinks. And for one, I am ready to watch it and get going. People to count us out every game. Ramblin' Chef, I do think this team is better than what people are us at. I don't think this team went backwards. I don't think they did. Again, the cornerback room, I think we're worse. But every other position on this team, I think we are as good, if not better, at every other position besides corner. If we have an elite O line, sky is the limit. If we have an elite O line, which means we can run the ball at a high clip, this offense is going to be a top 5 offense. You add another starting caliber corner, this defense has potential to be a top 5 defense. Top 5 offense with a top 5 defense, that equals success. I feel the same way, Glenn. Mike Hilton is the only free agent that I was cool with. Mike Hilton was the only one that I was cool with, and I was only a little skeptical on him because he is not a boundary corner. He is strictly a nickel corner. That's the only thing I had against Mike Hilton. Scotty says, I think our O-line is better this year, and that excites me. Yeah, I believe it is too. Puff, puff, pass. What we shall see. We shall see. We'll see who's right. We'll see who's wrong. I hope I'm right. I want a winning team. And if you're right, I'll come on and I'll say that you were right, brother. 100%. Brother, what you going to do when Tua, Tyreek, and Jalen Waddle run wild on you? Jones wasn't a scheme fit in Vegas. I think he fits Weaver's system. Well, he has all over the place yesterday. Making plays, right, Scotty? I heard he almost came down with a pick. He just didn't make the catch. Like I said, I thought Jack Jones was probably the 3rd, 4th best corner. He automatically becomes the 3rd or 4th best corner on this team. I feel more confident with Jack Jones out there than Ethan Bonner. I feel more confident with Jack Jones out there than Cam Smith. You know what I mean? Maddenology. Lewis, my son's name is Madden, actually. Right? I got 2 kids, twins, a boy and a girl. My son's name is Madden, and my daughter's name is Mia, M-I-A. Yeah, I'm super excited. There's no camp today, mandatory day off. But listen, pads will be on in the next couple of days. That's when we'll learn a lot more. We'll get to really know what this offensive line and defensive line are looking like. The goal is 1 playoff win. Yeah, I mean, I think if the Miami Dolphins if we could somehow win the division, and get a home playoff game, I think that'd be huge for this team. That'd be huge. Tua knocked himself out and got put on IR, but the throwing the next day wasn't a concussion, but the league forced IR. MMA shows us the way his neck bent, but put him to sleep. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, hit that like button. Also, again, I'm probably going to have to start a new channel, which is really rough for me, which is really rough. And listen, I'm going to ask for a favor from Dolphin fans. You know, even if you're not a big supporter of my content, because YouTube's doing me so dirty, and it's going to be impossible for me to get all 800 of my subscribers back, I ask everyone, even if they're not a fan of the show, to subscribe to get me to that limit and build the new show up so I can get the number of subscribers that I need to get me where I need to go. But yeah, it's definitely a depressing day that I'm going to have to start the channel over. I want to win too. I can't wait to see the pads come on this week. I can't wait to see this team continue to grow. I'm excited to see if we make any more moves. But keep growing. This team is starting to hold each other accountable. You know, when players aren't on the field, they're not just sitting on the sideline not doing anything. Like Scotty said, they're over there doing their own thing, staying busy, trying to get better each and every day, playing for one another, caring about the next guy. I think we've had some toxic guys on this team. Jalen Ramsey being one of them. Jalen Ramsey didn't care about other people. Did he want to win? Yeah. But he didn't care about this guy or that guy. These guys care. Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson, and Jalen Phillips care about each other. And I think this defense could be really dangerous. So I'm excited to see what moves we make. Hopefully I can make it down in the camp next year. Hopefully the Miami Dolphins send some tickets soon, so I can hopefully try to make some plans, because you can't send me tickets 2 days before and, oh, well, now I guess I got tickets. Or if I make plans and then the tickets don't come, what do I do then? You know what I mean? But yeah. All right, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Super, super excited about this year coming up. Listen, try to have a positive outlook. I know it's hard, guys. I know this team has let you down numerous times. But try to have a positive outlook. Be realistic. Try to be realistic. And maybe I got to be a little bit more realistic. But listen, we won 8 games last year without Tua playing 6. Go up and down the roster, and you really look at the roster and tell me you feel that we're worse than this year than last. I think you'll really surprise yourself and be like, hold on, maybe we're not. Maybe we're not. And I think if you keep it real, you know, you can say this offense is overrated when Tua plays. I mean, 25 points a game is nothing to Tua scoring 25 points a game. If this defense can keep teams that 18, 19, 20 points a game, we should win quite a few games. I appreciate that, Finspin. I really do. Keep building the trenches. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, folks. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will see you all later. And you know what it is. It's Fins Up. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Peace.